embarrassing when it's asking one's boss for a raise.
But, Queena, darling, I don't see how a tie can make any difference.
Oh, but it will, dear. Make all the difference in the world. And orange is such a lovely color. Just match your complexion.
I know, but an orange tie, darling, with a dark suit.
Oh, good morning, children.
Oh, good morning, Mother.
No, now. You better have your coat of ice hot.
Yes, Mother. Mother, Ned's going to ask his boss for a raise today.
Well, it's about time, I should think.
Isn't there any cream this morning?
Oh, it's much better for you to have it black. It's more of a stimulant.
Well, I don't need a stimulant.
Oh, yes, you do, if you're going to ask that man for a raise.
Queena, do you know, I don't think I'd better ask Mr. Pearsall for that raise until Monday.
Oh, now, Ned, dear, you must never put off until Monday what you can ask for today.
Queena's right. Ask for it today. Then you can start on your new salary Monday.
All right. I'll ask for it, only I don't feel that I know exactly how to approach Mr. Pearsall.
Well, it's very simple. Just be severe. Be very stern and commanding. Say, Mr. Pearsall, I've been in your employ for a great many years. I've worked hard, faithfully, conscientiously.
And without a raise, I'm compelled to leave your employ without further notice.
But, Queena...
And work elsewhere.
What? You... My word, my train.
Oh, my...
Oh, my, I'll never make it.
Dear, fix your tie.
Fix my tie. I gotta fix my tie. I knew that old clock was slow. Where's my briefcase? It was right here.
Here it is.
Thank you, darling. Goodbye.
Oh,
my hat. Where's my hat?
On your head.
Is it
Now, remember, be firm. Don't let him sit on you. Don't take no for an answer.
For an answer, no. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Fix your tie.
Yes, I will, darling.
Hurry.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Out on the 5:15.
Good morning, Mr. Swilling. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Swilling.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Swilling.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Good morning, Ned.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Swilling.
Had your breakfast?
Yes, I always eat at home.
Well, another cup of coffee won't hurt you.
With you?
Yes, come on.
Thank you.
Telegram, Mr. Farrer. It's for Mrs. Farrer. I thought I'd save myself a trip.
Thank you.
Oh, here. Sign, please. What?
Sam, please.
You want your usual ham and eggs and orange juice this morning, Mr. Tweed?
Yes, Sam. And, you might add some wheat cakes, small pig sausages, bran muffins, and a cup of coffee.
Yes, sir. And the same for you, sir?
No, just a cup of black coffee.
Yes?
Cream.
No, just black coffee. Cream. Oh, excuse me.
Well, Ned, how's your wife and charming mother-in-law?
Just fine, thank you.
I ran into her the other day. I was telling her how you and I used to harmonize those old songs. You know, Ned, I've always liked your voice. And believe me, I know a voice when I hear it. Heaven knows I hear plenty of bad ones every day in my radio station. Yes, sir, you have a good voice.
Oh, thank you. I suppose it's good enough in a homespun sort of way.
Like your new job?
Oh, very much. I'm getting a raise today.
Oh, that's fine. Get a chance to harmonize with your boss?
Oh, I know, not with Mr. Pearsall. He's all business.
Too bad you quit me, Ned. We always found time to do a little singing.
What do you mean, quit you? Well, you fired me.
I did not.
You certainly
I remember
did.
exactly how it happened. The argument started when we were singing down by the old mill stream.
Yes.
I said that at the finish of the first phrase, it went up.
And you're entirely wrong.
And you got stubborn as usual. For once and all, I'm going to prove to you. Now, listen carefully. Down by the old mill stream. You see, it goes up.
Nothing of the kind. It goes down by the old mill stream.
See, when you go down, it's flat.
Well, that's because you're not harmonizing. You sing the air and let me do the baritone.
All right, then let's do it together.
All right.
Now, I'll show you where you're wrong.
And I'll show you where I'm right. Now. Down by the old mill stream, where I first met you.
With all my heart, I say I love you dearly, for I am yours sincerely. With all my heart. would write a song telling of the miracle the day you came along. And every night I'll tell the stars above you to say again I love you with all my heart.
That's beautiful, dear. It's been a long time since I've heard you sing.
It is pretty, isn't it, Mother? It's Ned's favorite song.
Go on, dear. Don't stop. If your Aunt Min could only hear you, she'd realize all the money she spent on your music wasn't entirely wasted. I think you gave up a career just to marry Ned and settle down in this godforsaken place. No wonder your Aunt Min was provoked.
Aunt Min wasn't provoked, Mother. She was furious. But I don't see why she should have been. She's never met Ned, and she doesn't know how kind and considerate he is.
Just the same, if you'd listened to her, you might have had everything. No, you wouldn't. Now, where are you here, living in the suburbs? No servants, always worried about the rent. I'm afraid, dear, your Aunt Min was right.
Oh, Mother. Mother, there's Ned now. Go get us in out of the oven, will you? Ned, dear.
Hello, darling.
Darling, you're terribly late.
Am I really?
Yes.
Well, I couldn't see Mr. Pearsall until 4 o'clock, so I missed the 5:15.
Darling, quick, tell me what happened about the raise.
Oh, the raise?
Yes.
Oh, well, I did just what you and your mother told me to do. I was severe and stern and commanding.
Yes, yes.
I threw out my chest and I said, Mr. Pearsall, I've been in your employ for years, and unless you give me a raise, I'll go elsewhere.
Wonderful, dear. And what did Mr. Pearsall say? Did he agree with you?
Yes, he did. He told me I could go elsewhere.
And then you didn't. You haven't. You mean you lost your... Darling, what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm going to sit down.
Ned, do you think he'll take you back?
Queena, I don't know.
Well, maybe he would. Ned, maybe he would, Ned, if you told him you didn't think you were worth any more, that you weren't worth anything.
Oh, I don't think so, Queena. It wasn't much of a job anyway. I made only just enough for us not to get along on. I'm sure I'll find another job just as bad, maybe worse.
Ned, you don't seem to be at all worried.
Darling, please don't cry. I'm too tired to watch you.
No, well, Ned, I can't understand why you don't feel worse than you do.
Well, I'll try to feel worse, darling, just as soon as I feel better.
Oh, what'll Mother say, Ned?
Oh, well, let's try not to find out tonight.
Come, Ned, your dinner's ready.
Oh, thank you.
Everything's nice and hot.
Thank you.
What, Ned, this briefcase is awfully heavy.
I thought it was a little heavy myself.
Oh, I know. You brought a box of candy for Queena.
No, I didn't. I didn't get any candy.
Why, there's a bottle in it.
Oh, you're crazy.
Maybe I am, but it's a bottle just the same. Now, will you say it's not a bottle?
Oh, well, not when I see the bottle. Now, in the briefcase? Well, what do you know? Why, it's a bottle of wine.
Why, Ned, it's champagne.
Well, I'll ice it.
How wonderful.
Queena, don't you understand? It's perfectly clear to me.
What's clear to you, Mother?
Ned's got his raise, and that's a present for Mr. Pearsall.
I guess it is, Mother.
Why, of course it is. He got his raise, and I'm responsible. I told him just what to say. Wish I'd been there. Oh, I hope he told that Mr. Pearsall just what I told him to.
I think he did, Mother.
Well, this ought to be nice and cold in a few minutes, and then we can celebrate.
What's this? Why, it's a note. Mr. Pearsall is a dirty S-K-U-N-C-H. Skunch.
Skunch? Oh, I think that's a Russian word, yes. It's derived from the... Oh, no, that's a typographical error. The C-H should be K. S-K-U-N-K. Mr. Pearsall is a dirty skunk. Yes, from the boys who are sorry you are leaving.
Leaving? Oh, I see.
What do you see, Mother?
Your mother's no fool, Queena. I only have to put 2 and 2 together to make 4. You've left your position.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, you didn't ask me. I told Queena.
Queena, why didn't you tell me?
Mother,
Why do you keep things from your mother?
But you didn't give me a chance to tell you.
No.
Ned, we wanted to tell her, didn't we?
Before she came in, we had it all. Well, we couldn't keep anything from you. I mean, we wouldn't keep. Come on, this is nice and cold. Now we can celebrate. Huh?
Yes, there's no reason to celebrate.
Well, we'll celebrate without a reason, of course.
Yes,
Mother,
come
you
on,
sit right
Mother.
down there and be comfortable. Yeah, Queena, you get the glasses,
Yes,
quick,
yes.
yes. And I'll open this, Mother. Did you ever open one of these bottles? They say they're very tricky. You know, I don't believe I've ever opened one. As a matter of fact, I don't believe I've ever tasted champagne, as a matter of fact. And they say that champagne does very funny things to you. Oh, Queena!
Coming, Ned, coming. Be careful, Ned.
My goodness, how that's working, isn't it? That's terrible.
Yes.
My.
Here, Mother.
Not too much of Mama now.
No.
There you are.
Yeah.
Queena? And me.
You?
Well, here's to... well, here goes. Oh, there you are. You see, I told you I was still a good dancer. Oh, Mama, hurt you? Oh.
Oh, Ned, why don't you act like this oftener?
Well, why don't I get fired oftener and be given another bottle of champagne, huh?
Oh, dear. I'd almost forgotten you were fired.
It's a good idea. Let's all forget it.
Have you any plans, Ned?
Well, I thought I'd wash the dishes.
It's a serious matter when a man finds himself out of work.
Perhaps I could find something until you get a job, Ned. I can't do anything but sing. Can't even do that anymore.
Why, of course you can, Queena. Do you know what I'd do if I were you? I'd go and see that nice Mr. Twilly.
What for, Mother?
Why, he's the head of this whole radio realm thing. He was telling me about it the other day. I'd ask to sing for him. I certainly would. Queena's been singing tonight, Ned.
Oh, has she?
Ned doesn't like to hear me sing, Mother.
Doesn't...
I don't like to hear anybody sing.
One...
It's too much trouble. For them, I mean.
Oh, well, even if you don't like to hear me sing, Ned, maybe Mr. Twilling will like my voice.
Well, he won't.
Ned, how...
He will not. I know Mr. Twilling, and he doesn't like good singing. I know because he likes to hear himself sing. He even likes to hear me sing.
Oh.
However, he might like Queena's voice. Maybe it isn't as good as we think.
Maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. I don't use it. Oh, you're not to blame, Mother. No one's to blame but myself.
You listen to me.
Don't you dare touch her.
And you listen to me. I'm going to have the floor around here for once. When Queena married me, she promised to cut out all this nonsense about a singing career. If there's any singing to be done in this family, I'll do it. What do you mean? Only this morning on the train, Mr. Twilling told me he thought I had a beautiful voice.
I don't believe it.
Oh, you don't? Oh, you don't? With all my heart, I say I love you dearly, for I am so sincerely. With all my heart, with all my heart.
Now, what are you doing in that apron?
I'm cleaning up around here. Did you want something?
Yes, I want to give a sleeping powder to Queena. She's so upset. Poor thing. You please get the box for me. It's on the top shelf.
Certainly.
Oh, I think I'll take one myself.
By all means, take them all. Have a good time.
Good night.
Good night. Come in.
Excuse me, I saw the outer door open and I heard you say come in.
And now you're in. What do you want?
Is this 83 Maple Street?
Yes.
Well, why don't you have your number so people can read them? I've driven past this house 3 times.
Well, why don't you drive by again?
Does Mr. Farrell live here?
Yes. Would you like to see him?
No.
Oh, just tell Mrs. Farrell I've arrived. I'm her aunt, Mrs. Stickney.
Oh, are you?
Yes, she's expecting me. I sent a telegram last night saying I was coming.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Oh,
Yes.
well, maybe Mr. Farrell got it and forgot to mention it.
His kind would.
Yes, his kind would.
Oh, Craddock, just take that upstairs. If you'll tell him where the room is.
Whose? Oh, your room? Oh,
Yes.
of course, yes. Why, it's right down at the end of the hall on the right.
You just put it down to the door, Craddock, and then you may go.
Look out, George. George? I'm sorry, but your niece is out.
Oh,
I'm sure that if she'd known that you were coming, she would have stayed in.
and my sister, Mrs. Marson, is she out too?
Well, in a way, she is. She took a sleeping powder and went to bed.
I suppose Mr. Farrar is out with Mrs. Farrar.
Well, no, he,
I believe they did get my telegram. It's just the welcome I might have expected in Ned Farrar's house.
Oh, but I'm sure they didn't know you were coming. Why, only tonight I heard Mrs. Martin and Mrs. Farrar talking about you.
Talking about me? What were they saying?
Well, about how good you'd been to them and what a pity it was that you'd never forgiven Mrs. Farrar for marrying me. Mr. Farrar. Are you sure you aren't tired? Wouldn't you like to go to your room?
No, I'd like a little something to eat.
Oh.
Nothing much, just a sandwich.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you.
Could I get you something to drink?
I'd like a good drink of water, but I'm afraid of it.
Oh?
Yes, I was made very sick once, drinking water in a strange place.
Oh, how terrible. And I'm so sorry I don't believe we have any bottled water. A little brandy would be nice.
Yes, that would be nice. But have you any brandy?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
And very good, too. It's from the drugstore.
Oh.
You see? It's the family hysteric brandy.
Oh, I wouldn't want to have hysterics.
Oh, you won't. I'll get some water.
No, just the plain brandy.
Oh.
Thank you. That's very good. No, just put the bottle down. Here. Sit down. You must be tired.
Oh, but really,
Oh, when people who work for us are kind and respectful, we can take liberties, for they won't be misunderstood. There's no reason why you shouldn't sit down.
Thank you.
Tell me, George, does Mr. Farrar neglect my niece much? Is he abusive to her? Now, you needn't be afraid to tell me. I wouldn't breathe a word of it.
Oh, well.
Oh, then he is. The brute I thought he was. Well, she should have known better than to have married a nobody, coming from a family of nobodies.
Do you know his family?
No, I never heard of them. That makes me know they're nobodies. Do you know where he is tonight?
Mr. Farrar, tonight? Oh, Mr. Farrar lost his position today, and he's out tonight celebrating.
Mercy. Lost his job and celebrating. Just the kind of person I knew he was. Well, if Mr. Farrar's lost his situation, they may not be able to afford having you.
Oh. Oh, well, I don't cost very much, and I only work here in the evening. But then if they can't keep me, I'd have to look for another place.
Oh, well, a kind person like you shouldn't find it difficult.
Oh, thank you very much.
Do you cut grass?
Yes.
And you're a good houseman.
Well, I don't know how good I am.
I haven't a houseman at New Ellen. I think perhaps I'm making a mistake. And if I could find the right one, I would seriously consider it.
Well, a good houseman might be a very good idea. That is, the neighbors might think he could shoot or he was strong or something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he wasn't.
Exactly.
You have a little more brandy.
No. Perhaps just a little. Mrs. Farrar won't need it, and it isn't good for Mrs. Martin. Her heart is weak.
Pardon me. How do you know Mrs. Farrar won't need it?
I'm taking her away with me for a visit.
Oh, does she know it?
Not yet. Now, that was very nice, and I feel much better. I think I'll go to bed. Do you happen to know where I'm to sleep?
Sleep? Oh, yes. You sleep in Mr. Farrar's room.
Mr. Farrar's room? Where will he sleep?
Well, I'll find a place. Oh, Mr. Farrar? Well, he won't be home tonight.
Oh, isn't that just like
I'll
you?
get you some clean sheets. And pillowcases?
That's very thoughtful of you.
Oh, how stupid.
You just give them to me, and I'll take them up with me. And you must get on with your work down here.
Are you sure you can do it?
Make a bed? Oh, I should hope so. Good night.
Good night.
And I want you to take this.
Oh, really? I couldn't.
Oh, of course you can. I may not see you tomorrow. I'm leaving early in the
Oh,
morning.
but it wouldn't be possible.
Oh,
would it?
nonsense. Good night.
Are you sure you can find it?
The bed. I should hope so. Good night.
Good night. $1.
Mother.
Aunt Min's here.
Aunt Min?
She's asleep in Ned's room.
In Ned? Where did Ned sleep?
I don't know.
But...
I've been way down to the market getting things for her. Oranges and eggs and the kind of coffee she likes. Here, you fix her breakfast for her. I'll clean up the house before she comes down.
All right, dear.
I'll get the vacuum cleaner.
Now, Mother, don't get too upset. I'll help you. Mother, how does that man like her eggs?
4 minutes. Oh, what is the matter with this thing? Queena, I can't make this thing go.
What'd you do to it?
Nothing. It just won't work.
Oh, Mother, it was all right yesterday. Did you turn the lamp on?
Yes, I did.
Good morning.
Ned.
Nice morning, isn't it?
Say, where'd you sleep last night?
On the porch. What's the matter with that thing?
Oh,
Won't work.
Ned, see if you can fix it, will you please?
Well, did you turn on the lamp first?
No.
Oh, well, you should have done that.
Well, I did then.
Ned?
Yes?
Ned, Aunt Min's here.
I know it.
You know it?
Why didn't you tell us?
Oh, Ned, did you see her to speak to?
Yes.
Well, what did she say? Why didn't you wake us up?
Because you were both full of dope.
Ned, you didn't tell her that.
No, certainly not.
No.
I told her that you were out.
And what did you say about me?
I said that you were out, too, in a way.
Oh, Ned.
You
Ned.
were nice to her, Ned.
Very,
And was she nice to you, Ned?
very. Before she went to bed, she gave me $1.
$1? Oh, Mother, be careful, be careful.
She gave you $1.
She thought I was a servant and called me George.
And you didn't tell her who you were?
No.
Ned, what else did Aunt Min have to say?
She said she was going to take you away with her.
Take me away with her?
Queena, she's forgiven us. Oh, Aunt Min's forgiven
Oh,
us.
now, Mother, don't faint.
No, don't. There isn't much brandy left.
I'm going to. Oh, Mother, come on to the hammock, quick. Ned, you better get some brandy.
Brandy,
quickly.
yes.
Get some brandy.
But there isn't very much left.
Where's the worst place? Mother, I told you not to.
Stairs in the worst place in the house.
Now, they'll be
They tell
taken
us-
care of, Mother. Now, don't worry. They'll be all right. Just lie down here quiet. Oh,
Here you are, Rita.
Thank you.
I'll clean those stairs.
All right, here, Mother. Now, you'll be all right. I'll be back in a second. All right. Ned, you're awfully good. Ned,
What?
I said you're awfully good.
No, I'm not. I'm a failure. And Queena. Well, don't you think it would be a good idea if your Aunt Min took your mother with her instead of you?
Oh, but Ned,
Oh, I tell you, it's just terrible the way you two cringe before this woman simply because she has money.
Oh, now, don't you go saying things about Aunt Min. She's been very good to us.
To us.
Well, to Mother and me.
Oh, well, all right. If you want to go with her, why, go ahead. Don't mind me.
Oh, but I didn't say I was going. But I'm glad she wants me. Maybe she's forgiven us.
For what?
Well, for going against her judgment.
For marrying me, you
Oh,
mean?
Ned, you must admit that things haven't turned out quite the way we thought they would.
I'll finish the stairs.
Oh, but Ned...
Good morning.
Huh? Oh, good morning. You'll pardon my appearance, but I slept here last night, and that's the reason I'm dressed like this.
Yes, it's a very good way to dress when you're using that terrible thing.
You haven't had your bath this morning. I mean, we have lots of hot water.
I only have a cold sponge in the morning.
Could I fix you some breakfast?
No, I only have a cup of black coffee for breakfast, and I'll have that when I come in. I always take a little walk before breakfast.
Oh, Queena,
Yes?
loosen that plug in the lamp
Oh, yes.
there, would you?
Ned, she saw you?
Yes, she saw me,
And in your pajamas?
and in my pajamas.
What did she think?
Well, she seemed to think they were all right.
Oh, Ned, where's she gone now?
Right now, she went out for a walk.
Out for a walk. Oh, Mother, she didn't see you, too.
I don't know. Put this away.
That's been put away.
I hope she didn't see me. But I had a feeling she was looking right at me. She always sees everything.
Mother, I think you better sit down.
Oh, I feel faint again.
Well, it's no use. It's all gone.
Oh, she's coming back now.
I'm going to get some clothes on.
Ned, be sure to come down the back stairs.
Ellie. How are you, Queena?
Fine, Aunt Min.
I got your letter, Ellie, and I had a feeling it was just about time I came.
Did you write, Aunt Min?
Oh, yes, she told me how badly things were going.
Oh, Mother.
Well, I thought Aunt Min ought to know about you having a cold and everything.
Aunt Min, I'm sorry we weren't up last night when you arrived.
Oh, it's quite all right. George was perfectly lovely to me.
George? Oh, yes, George. I'll get you some breakfast.
Queena looks very badly. She lost all her color. She doesn't look like the same person.
Well, how can she? After all she's been through.
Tell me, how is that husband of hers doing?
Oh, very well, Min. Very well indeed.
Ellie Martin, don't try to put the wool over my eyes.
What do you mean?
I happen to know he's lost his position.
Well,
And he didn't come home last night.
who told you?
The man who works here.
Oh, he told you. Well, I don't think you should have talked about such things.
Well, I do. It's high time someone talked about them. And it's high time Queena left Ned Farrow, if you ask me. As for you, Ellie, you must stop drinking and taking sleeping powders.
Oh, I don't take sleeping powders.
Didn't you take one last night?
Yes. Who told you that?
He did, George. It's convinced me I must take Queena with me to Jewellen. Let her have a long rest cure. As for you, Ellie, I suppose you can stay here until I've decided just what's the right thing to do.
Come in. Come and have some breakfast. Hope the eggs are all right.
I never take anything in the morning except a cup of black coffee.
Oh, really? Mother?
Thank you.
Sit down here.
No, I don't think I want any breakfast. I'll just go upstairs and fix up a little.
Mother doesn't look very well, does she?
No, she's lost all her color. I hope she doesn't depend on sleeping powders and stimulants.
Oh, of course she doesn't. Aunt Min, I was wondering, how would you like to take Mother for a visit instead of me?
No, my dear. Your mother and I don't get on. But never mind about your mother. I wanted to talk to you about your husband. Suppose you are still fond of him?
Of course I am.
And yet you're not happy.
What makes you think I'm not happy?
Well, are you?
Well, I would be happy if...
You would be if you were.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean if I didn't have things to worry about.
Oh, well,
Aunt Min.
never mind. I'll take care of everything. While you're with me, I'll make your mother an allowance. Do you think $200 a month would do?
200? Well, that'd be wonderful. But Aunt Min, when would I have to decide?
Right away.
Oh, well, then I couldn't do it.
Why, of course you could. Queena, this is your opportunity. Some people who make mistakes don't have another chance. Remember that. I think I'll just take this up and have it with your mother.
Oh, Aunt Min. Aunt Min, do you think you'd better? Mother's been awfully nervous all morning.
Well, I have a few things I want to say to her. She can wait and be nervous after I've gone.
Ned.
Well?
Ned, come on in here a minute. I want to talk to you. Ned.
Yeah?
Ned, I have to decide right away.
What?
Well, if I'm going or not.
Well, that ought to be easy enough.
Isn't easy enough. I don't know what makes you think it should be easy.
Well, if you don't know yourself, why don't ask me?
Ned,
Mhm.
Aunt Min will give Mother $200 a month if I go.
Oh, so that's it, eh? You're going to be paid for. Rented out for $200 a month.
No, Ned, I just thought it would help so much just now.
Oh, just now, darling. How can you say that? Do you suppose it's going to help me any to have you leave me at a time like this? Why, I wouldn't even have anyone to talk to.
Oh, what can we talk about? We're so worried.
My darling, we could set aside a couple of hours each day just to worry you.
Ned, you're hopeless.
Oh, all right. If you're going to allow her to break up our home.
Well, it's much more likely to be broken up if I don't go. At least you can live on what Mother's getting while I'm gone.
Who can? You don't suppose for 1 minute that I'd ever touch a penny of that?
Ned, I'm sorry if I've said anything to hurt your feelings. But after all, it may be weeks before you get anything that you can do. I mean, that you want to do.
Oh, well, all right. If that's the way you feel about it, go ahead. Don't worry about me.
Ned, you're making me feel just terrible.
You sorry you married me?
Well, just at this moment, I'm afraid I am, because you're behaving very badly.
Well, don't you want me to behave badly? Do you want me to be pleased because you're leaving me?
But I'm not leaving you.
Oh, then you're not going.
Yes, I am.
All right, go. Queena.
Oh, George, I'm glad you hadn't gone. You know, I've been thinking about our conversation last night, about my not having a houseman at Llewellyn. Now, how would you like to come?
I?
Yes, and see how we get on.
Why, I don't see how I could exactly.
Oh, of course you could. Now, I want someone to oversee the work I'm having done there and do just, anything I ask him to. Do you think you could?
Well, I don't think I could get away for a few days, possibly a week. You see, I have relatives.
Oh, that's too bad. But we all have them, George. Now, just send me a wire. If you're coming, send it collect.
I could take it out of that dollar.
Yes.
Yes. I'd appreciate it very much if you wouldn't tell Mrs. Farrow that you asked me. You see, she might think that I ought to stay here with Mr. Farrow.
With Mr. Farrow? Why, he doesn't even stay here himself. Did he come home last night after I'd gone?
Well, no, he didn't.
No, I didn't think he would. Ellie, what are you doing with that heavy bag? Now, let George take it. George.
No, I'm sorry. I don't think Mr. Farrow would like Mrs. Farrow to go.
Now, I think that's very nice of you. Now, you just put it there, and Craddock will get it when he comes.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, that's all, thank you. Well, it's fortunate you have a man in the house, with Ned Farrow out all night. I suppose the celebration was too much for him.
Celebration? Who told you that?
He did, George.
Come in.
Craddock, you're late. Go upstairs and get my bag. Oh, all ready, Queena?
Yes, Aunt Ned.
Well, I'll be right down.
Mother? Mother, where's Ned?
Oh, he put your bag down there and went out through the kitchen.
He must want me to go.
Oh, no, dear. He couldn't help it. Aunt Min told him to.
Oh, Mother, I don't want to go. I can't go.
All ready, Queena?
Mrs. Farrar's bag ready?
Yes, it's right there, but Queen's not sure that she's going.
Take them both out, Craddock. Now, Ellie, don't encourage Queena in this foolishness. She's doing the right thing for the first time in years.
But, Min... Mother, I want to find Ned. I simply can't go.
Oh, you have to go now.
Come along, Queena. Off we go.
Aunt Min, did Mother tell you I don't think I ought to go?
Now, you're in no condition to think. Now, come along, Craddock, as late as it is. We'll talk about your not coming as we drive. Goodbye, Ellie. And I do hope you do the best you can and try not to write for a week or so. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, darling. Goodbye.
Come along, Queena.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Ellie. Goodbye.
Well, she's gone.
Yes, she's gone.
Somehow I thought she wouldn't.
But she didn't want to at the last minute. I think maybe if you'd been here, she wouldn't have gone.
Oh, don't cry, Mrs. Martin, please. Please, look, I'm not crying.
Where were you, Ned? Don't you care at all that all this has happened?
I was using the neighbor's telephone. As for what's happened, you don't know the half of it.
I know enough. Ned, there's a queer look in your eye.
Really? Which one?
Well, both. Does it mean anything?
Since you ask me, yes. It means rage, determination, anxiety, hope, fear. Shall I go on?
No. No, you frightened me.
Good. I'm glad I frightened somebody.
Why, Ned?
No, but not you, Mrs. Martin. Well, I've got to hurry.
Well, where are you going?
I'm going to change my clothes.
What for?
Well, I phoned Mr. Twilling, and he's given me an appointment.
Why, Ned.
And your charming mother-in-law, did she leave too?
Oh, no. She's still up there at the house. Why, she's going to be awfully lonesome. She is charming, isn't she, Mr. Twilling? You know, I don't know what I'd do without her. She makes the home so homey.
Yes, Ned, she's a fine woman. But getting back to your problem.
You know, she'd be a great comfort to any man who would really appreciate her.
I don't doubt it. She's a fine woman. Now, about your job, Ned.
And about my job, Mr. Twilling, you know, if it hadn't been for her, I'd still be pounding the typewriter. Oh, I owe a great deal to her, a great deal, yes. It was she who told me to come here today to ask you if I could have my old job back as your secretary.
Oh, well, I don't know. You see, the man I have now is a very good secretary.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Does he sing?
No, he doesn't. And speaking of singing, if you weren't so stubborn, you'd still be with me.
Well, I'm not so stubborn anymore, Mr. Twilling. No, I've been thinking about those arguments we used to have about down by the old mill stream, and I've come to the conclusion that you are definitely right. The note on the ending of that first phrase does go up.
Oh, no, it goes down.
Oh, no, it definitely...
Down. You convinced me the other day on the train. Come here, I'll show you. Yes, sir, you were right. It goes down on the first phrase and up on second.
I'm not in very good voice today, Mr. Twilling.
Oh, never mind, just take your regular baritone part.
Okay. Down by the old mill stream, where I first met you, with your eyes all blue, dressed in gingham too. It was there I knew that you loved me. You were 16, my village queen, by the old mill stream.
Good morning, Mrs. Farrah.
Good morning, Phoebe. Is my Aunt Min up yet?
Oh, yes, she's up. Getting ready to go horseback riding with that new man.
I didn't know Aunt Min rode anymore.
She hasn't been on a horse in years. I don't know what people are going to say about her, gallivanting around with him.
Is he good-looking, Phoebe?
She seems to think so. Says no one can peel an apple like he can. When women at her age start getting zippy, there's no telling what will happen. Oh, and you sleeping on this porch for the past 3 weeks. You'll catch your death of cold.
Well, Aunt Min thinks I'd better sleep out here until my cure is finished.
Well, if you ask me, you'll be finished before you're cured.
Phoebe.
I don't approve of open porches to sleep on. Oh, your aunt has a fur coat in the cedar chest. I'll go get it.
Thanks, Phoebe.
These may be a bit small, but I guess they're all right.
Yes. Do you know something, Mr. Craddock?
What?
I've never been on a horse before. Is it hard to get on one?
Oh, getting on's easy enough.
Thank you.
The trick is to stay on.
Trick? Oh, dear. Oh, I'm sure my feet are going to be too low. Tell me, is this horse a gentle horse?
In a way, of course, it bucks a little. But remember the old saying, a bucking horse never throws its rider.
Oh, I know the old saying about the bucking horse. Yeah. And you know the old saying about the bucking horse. But does the horse know the old saying about the bucking horse?
You'll find out soon enough.
Yes. Oh, well, am I all right? Do I need anything else?
Well, you better put this on.
Oh.
Here we are. Follow me and I'll introduce you to your horse.
Oh, do you have to be introduced before you ride it?
What are you doing in that heavy coat?
I'm cold.
Oh, ridiculous. Oh, and you're polluting this beautiful air with mothballs. Queena, it's not cold out here.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, no. Why, when I had my nervous breakdown, it was in the dead of winter. I slept here, and I used to wake up with my head covered with snow.
But I haven't got a nervous breakdown.
Oh, yes, you have. Believe me, you have. No one could live with your mother for any length of time and not have one.
Aunt Min, why can't I sleep indoors and have all the windows open? There's a terrible draft out here.
Draft? Draft? Now, perhaps it's the break in this screen that causes that draft. Well, we'll have it fixed and see. Now, you take some strenuous exercise, and you'll be all right.
Do you know, Mr. Craddock, I have a feeling that Julia doesn't like me. Yes. Julia, do you know the old saying about a bucking horse? What'd she say?
She says she understands you perfectly.
Well, isn't it wonderful to be able to understand horse language like that? well, goodbye.
Oh, no, George.
Huh?
The left side is the right side.
Oh, the left is the right?
That's right.
Well, that can't be.
There's always a right and a wrong side, George. In this case, the right side is the wrong side, and the left side is the right side.
I see. Simple, isn't it? It's like port and starboard. After I get on, how do I make it go?
Just touch it very lightly with the crop.
The crop. Yeah, have I got one?
This is the crop here.
Oh, the whip.
Oh, here comes the missus.
Tally-ho. All ready, George. It's a lovely morning.
Whoa, Julia. Whoa.
Oh, no, George, no, George. The left side is the right side.
Oh, you told me that, and that's over there.
That's the other side, that's right. Now, put your left foot in the stirrup. This is the stirrup here, see? Your left foot, George.
That's this one.
That's the one. Now, come on. Up she goes. Up, and up. Oh, there.
Well, go ahead, Julia. Go ahead. And remember, no buckings. Well, how do you start it?
Just touch it very gently with the crop.
With this?
That's it.
Are you hurt?
No, I'm just fine.
What happened?
Well, I think Julia decided to bend her head.
That is the funniest horse. Yeah, she always acts up when she has a strange rider. She'll be all right now that she knows you.
Oh, I hope so.
Get your horse and come along.
Nice, Julia. Oh, dear. Now, let me see. The right side is the left side is the wrong side. Oh, my. Oh, dear. This can't be right. There. Well, tally-ho.
George, I do believe you're doing this on purpose.
Oh, no, Mrs. Stickney, honestly. No, it's Julia. She seems to be having a little difficulty getting acquainted with me.
Well, she'll be better for you tomorrow. Now take the horses in and be sure and water them.
Yes, Mrs. Stickney.
Oh, and George, tell Craddock to get the ladder and fix that screen on the porch. My dear, what are you doing indoors?
I was just taking a walk around the house, Aunt Min. Did you have a nice ride?
Oh, I had a splendid gallop. You know, Queena, I've a very remarkable man working for me. He peels an apple, as I haven't had one peeled in years. You know, I always eat an apple before I go to bed at night. I think that's one of the reasons my skin keeps so fresh. Look at your mother. She's younger than I am and looks 10 years older.
Poor Mother. She's had a hard life. She hasn't been able to go to bed early every night with a man peeling apples for her.
You want it on the phone, ma'am?
Who is it?
I don't know.
Didn't you ask?
Yes, I asked, but she didn't seem so sure herself.
Sounds like your mother.
Oh, dear, I hope nothing's happened.
Now, don't worry. You know how she is over the telephone. I wish she wouldn't use it. Now, Queenie, you go upstairs onto the sleeping porch, dear. The air is so good for you.
Ned. It isn't you. It couldn't be you.
Yes, it is.
But what are you doing here?
I'm going to mend this screen.
Now I know. You're the man Aunt Min's been talking about.
Am I? I think I'll put the screen on the floor. It'll be easy to work with.
Ned, whatever made you think of doing such a thing? You don't know Aunt Min.
No, but I'm beginning to. It was her idea, you know, my coming here.
When she finds out.
Well, she won't until I'm ready.
Now that I know, I think I ought to tell her. If I don't, I'll be just as bad as you are.
Don't you dare to tell her.
Ned, how could you do such a thing and leave poor Mother all alone?
Now, don't worry about Mother. I gave Mother away.
What?
To Mr. Twilling.
To Mr. Twilling?
Mr. Twilling wanted a housekeeper, and he decided that your mother was exactly the proper person.
Oh, dear, she's on the telephone now. I bet something terrible has happened.
Nothing has happened. That is, she was all right last night. I see Mr. Twilling about 3 times a week.
That's nice of you.
You happy here?
I nearly froze last night. When I told Aunt Min about it, she said she'd have the screen mended, as if that would make any difference.
You look awfully well. I believe you are happy.
You look awfully well, too. Those boots are very becoming. I didn't know you rode horseback and peeled apples.
My dear girl, until I met you, I rode horseback and peeled apples practically all the time.
Ned.
Yes?
That Aunt Min likes you.
Oh. Does she?
Yes. And the more she likes you, the worse it will be when she finds out what you've done.
Well, perhaps she won't find out till after I've gone.
Oh. Are you going? When?
Well, I have plans.
Won't you tell me what your plans are?
Not yet.
I don't think you love me anymore.
Well, I'll tell you about that, too.
Come, Phoebe. You must get on with your cleaning.
Yes, ma'am. There's lots of cleaning to be done around here.
Queena, it was your mother. Oh, so you're mending the screen?
Trying to.
Yes. Oh, but didn't Craddock get my order to do it?
Craddock? Oh, Craddock said that if he could climb a ladder, he would have joined the fire department.
Aunt Min, what did Mother say? Is there anything wrong?
She's here.
Here?
At the station. I told her to come over in the bus. Will you be much longer?
Well, I'll just get a few more tacks.
Oh, well, come right through this way. There's no reason why I should run up and down that ladder.
Oh, thank you.
He's so considerate. He knew I wanted to speak to you.
What is it, Aunt Min?
Well, it seems your mother has been living with some man.
Mother!
Darling.
Oh, Ellie!
Min.
Mother, what happened to you?
Yes, for heaven's sake, tell us. And remember, Queena is having a rest cure and mustn't get excited.
Well, in the first place, Ned has disappeared.
Good.
But before he left, he got me a position as Mr. Twilling's housekeeper.
Mother, I didn't mean
Oh, I was glad to take it. I didn't want to be all alone in the house. But I had no idea.
Ellie, come to the point. I've never seen you looking better.
Well, that's partly what's the matter. You see, Mr. Twilling is not the quiet, retiring old gentleman he seemed at all. He's a kind of a hypnotist, I think. He sent for a dressmaker almost the first thing and had her take my measures. Said he wanted me to wear a certain kind of house dress. Oh, they weren't ordinary house dresses at all. Made of the most expensive materials. And then he began to want me to have dinner with him.
Mm-hmm.
sent to a shop in New York and had suits and hats sent out. This is one of them.
Ellie, you're not wearing it.
Yes, I am. And this hat? Had the barber come and bob my hair.
Bob, your hair, Mother.
Oh, Ellie, get to the point, if there is any.
Well, he took me to the movies nearly every night. And last night, he asked me to marry him.
He must be crazy. Are you going to marry him, Ellie?
Why, of course not. I wouldn't think of such a thing.
But then why did you take all these things?
I don't know. I just seem to have lost all my ideas about everything.
Well, you better get your ideas back, I should say. What did you do in return for all these presents?
Well, I ordered the meals and fixed the flowers, and twice I made griddle cakes for him.
Well, you can stay here for tonight, and then we'll decide what's best to be done.
Queena, you know Mr. Twilling's a really very nice man. He's going to do something for Ned if we can only find him.
Well, that ought to be easy. Don't you know any haunts he's likely to frequent?
Haunts? Well,
Oh,
Mother!
Ellie, what is the matter?
Mother's surprised to see George here, Aunt Ned.
Now, this is absurd.
No, come, let me help. I'm sure a little brandy...
Is that what you want, Ellie?
I don't know.
May I get some?
No, I'll get it if she has to have it.
Mother.
Ned, what are you doing here?
I'm working here.
I didn't know he was here until this morning, Mother.
Does Aunt Min know?
Oh, of course she doesn't.
Ned, so this is where you came when you went.
Right to this very spot.
But why?
Well, there's a very definite reason, but no one seems to realize what it is.
Queena.
That's it, exactly, Queena.
Well, Ned fella, you don't know my sister. That's all I've got to say.
She's simply wild about her, Mother. I wouldn't be at all surprised if she were sort of in love with him.
Mercy. Do you think she is, Ned?
I don't know how she acts when she's in love. Have you left Mr. Twilling permanently?
Yes, I think so. You see, he kept giving me things, and last night he asked me to marry him, so I left the first thing this morning.
Mother, you don't like Mr. Twilling, do you?
Well, I did, up to last night.
You are, Ellie. How do you feel now?
Oh, I'm better, Min. Perhaps I don't need the brandy.
Oh, well, you better drink it now. It's here.
It's delicious, Min.
Is it? Let me taste it. Very good. Now, you must go and rest. And, Queen, it's time for your goat's milk. And, George, there's some very important things I want you to do for me.
Delighted. Julia. Julia. I'm sorry to have to do this, Julia, but you see, Queena, that's my wife, she's sleeping on the open porch, and it's bitterly cold up there. Oh, dear, I don't understand a word of that, but I want you to feel that I honestly wouldn't take your blanket, except that Queena is so cold. Oh, I know, yes, of course. Of course, you're cold, too, but what I mean is a horse can stand the cold better. You see what I mean? Oh, well, I knew you'd understand. That's a nice horsey.
Queena, what is the matter?
Oh, Aunt Min, I'm so cold. I'm nearly freezing. Please let me sleep indoors tonight.
Oh, very well. You sleep in my room, and I'll sleep here.
Thanks so much. You don't realize how cold it is out here.
I knew this would happen with your mother here. All my good work gone for nothing.
Good night, Aunt Min.
Can't understand people being afraid. The little fresh air.
you know that I'd come to you tonight?
George!
Oh, my. Oh, my!
You know I can't scream in my own house.
No, but you don't have to. Oh, I beg pardon. I beg pardon.
Mercy. Why did you do this, George?
Because I'll explain to you some other time. I must go.
Lynn, what's the matter? Oh. Lynn! Lynn! What's the matter? Lynn! Lynn! What is it, Lynn?
Nothing. Go to bed, Ellie.
Well, I heard a sound like someone falling. Lynn, there's a man out here. I see him.
Nothing of the sort, Ellie.
The light. Quick, tell me, where's the light?
Now, stop this nonsense.
Well, I can see him without my glasses, crouching over there in the corner.
No, that's my fur coat. I threw it on the chair.
That noise, Lynn, didn't you hear it?
Well,
look at the table there.
Well, I got up to pull the curtain to shut out the moonlight and ran into the table and upset it. And go to bed, Ellie. And don't come out again no matter what you hear.
Don't you think I'd better leave the door open?
No, you get air enough through the windows. Good night, Ellie.
Good night.
George, are you still there?
I'm afraid so.
How did you get on the porch?
Up the ladder.
Through the screen?
Yes,
You left it so you could get through?
yes. Oh, I'd better tell you everything.
No, just tell me one thing. Did you do this because of anything I said this afternoon?
Oh, no. I did it because, well, I thought...
No, wait until tomorrow. I must be to blame in some way. I'd rather think so.
Oh, no, really, you don't understand. If you just let
Oh,
me...
be careful on the ladder, George. It wouldn't look well.
If I broke my neck, I won't.
Can you go quietly?
Oh, I hope so.
Mother! Mother, what is the matter with you this morning?
Well, I don't know that I should tell you.
Mother, of course you should. Tell me at once.
But last night,
Yes?
there was the most terrible noise on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
I ran to the door. There was Aunt Min in the moonlight, and I saw a man.
A man? Oh, poor Aunt Min. Was she terribly frightened?
No, she wasn't. But she seemed to be very annoyed with me, and she didn't want to put the light on. But I did.
And was there anyone there, Mother?
No. But Aunt Min's fur coat was there, and it was acting very strangely. It was all humped up, and it moved several times.
Mother, was there anyone under the fur coat?
Queena, there's only one person it could have been.
Ned. Mother. Mother, Ned thought I was sleeping out on the porch. He came to see me.
Yes, but why didn't Aunt Min scream? That's what I want to know.
Why didn't she?
You sent for me, Mrs. Stickney?
Yes. I wanted to speak to you about last night, George.
I should think so.
And yet, in a way, I feel the less that's said, the better. I wish I could forget it.
So do I.
I can't understand it. I've gone through everything in my mind, and I can't understand it.
I don't wonder.
You said last night you would explain. But how could you explain? Had you been drinking, George?
No, I hadn't.
No, I didn't think you had. I can usually detect it when a person is as near me as you were.
Oh, I suppose.
You've always seemed so trustworthy and reliable and superior. The kind of man I could really take pleasure in being with. How could you have thought I would permit such a liberty?
Oh, I never thought that, really.
I've been trying to remember what it was that you said.
No, please, don't.
You said, didn't I know you would come to me?
Oh, I couldn't. Did I say that?
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Well, what I meant was...
What you meant was that you were under the impression I expected something of the sort.
Oh, no, nothing like that at all. No, I had been drinking. That's the reason I did it. I was very, very drunk, and...
I can't deny there has been quite a little thrill to me in having you here.
Yes, of course. Thrill?
Yeah, I didn't think about it because I wouldn't encourage the feeling. I didn't think about it, but I felt it. Now, perhaps you realized that, and perhaps you were deceived by it. Perhaps you thought I did expect some...
Insult? Oh, no.
Oh, but it wouldn't have been an insult for the kind of woman that perhaps you thought I was.
Oh, I see. Oh, no. Well, I never thought that you were.
Perhaps you felt it without thinking, like my little thrill that I wouldn't allow myself to think about.
Well, you can be very sweet.
Oh, I'm just trying to think of a way out.
Well, I think the best way out for me is the door. Really, I've got to get back to town, Mrs. Stickney. Couldn't we talk this over some other time? I must go, and may I be bold enough to ask you to lend me your car just once again?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you.
No, you don't. You're not going to go anywhere.
Now, Queenie, you can't keep George here. He's something very important to do in town.
Now, Min, it's time you heard the truth about George.
Well, maybe I better go right
no, you
now.
won't. You're going to stay right here, Ned Farrar.
Ned Farrar? Are you Ned Farrar?
I think it's about time you knew the truth, Aunt Min. He told me he had a purpose in being here, working for you. But now that I know what his purpose is...
Oh, Queena, listen.
Now, you can't deny you were on that porch last night.
No, I can't deny it. I wish I could.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And I believed in you, Ned, and trusted you.
Even I thought you had some good points.
Well, just a minute, please.
No, you can't talk to me.
Queena?
I don't want to hear a thing.
Well, you've got to hear this, whether you want to or not. I went up on that porch last night simply because I thought you were there. And if this dizzy aunt of yours chooses to believe otherwise, that's no fault of mine. And you conniving meddler.
Oh, there you
Yes, if you hadn't put your nose into this, everything would have been all right.
And don't you talk like that to Mom.
Quiet! And remember this. I came down to this funny place simply to be near you, even if you did walk out on me when things began to look a little tough. So now you and your mama and your Aunt Min, you can all go fly a kite.
Ned.
As for me, I wish I were dead.
It's Mr. Twilling.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies. Ellie, you look lovely.
Now, Mr. Twilling, I hope you haven't come here to make a scene. We've trouble enough as it is.
Ellie, I insist that you marry me, but that can wait. Is your husband here, Mrs. Farrar?
Oh, so you knew he was here?
Oh, yes, I knew it. He asked me not to say anything to anybody. He said he wanted to be near his wife.
Mother, why didn't I believe Ned?
And he also wanted to get to know you better, Mrs. Stickney. He said in some ways you're a very fine woman.
Mr. Twilling, you've got to help us. Ned's gone.
Gone? Did he say where?
No, all he said was that he wished he were dead.
He can't do that. He's got a great career before him on the radio.
The radio?
On the radio?
Yes, that's where he's been going every day. I had him break in on small stations.
Ned, on the radio?
Oh, yes, indeed. Of course, he's not a Crosby and he hasn't a big voice. But it's quaint, different, homey-like. And how he does sing those old-time songs. Oh, ladies have gone mad over him. Ned Farrar, the fireside troubadour.
The fireside troubadour? Aunt Min, did you hear that? After all those horrible things you said about him, that's why he ran away.
Yes, he's probably killed himself, and
Yes.
all on account of you.
Well, I didn't say any more than you both said.
Ladies, this is no time to find out whose fault it is. We've got to get hold of Ned. He goes on the air at 2.
But I thought the fireside troubadour went on the air at 5.
Not today. That's why I hurried over. I was afraid the station hadn't called him. Which way did he go?
I don't know. He dashed out and got into my little roadster and drove off. That gives me an idea. Operator, I want the police station.
Aunt Min, you're not going to have him arrested.
Now, just leave everything to me, my dear. Hello? Police station? I want to report a stolen car.
Aunt Min.
Yes. Yes, a man. You want a description of him? Oh, he's adorable. Simply adorable.
Say, where's the fire?
A fire? Oh, my word. Is there a fire?
Oh, a comedian, huh?
Let's see your owner's license.
Oh, I haven't an owner's... an owner's license. Well, I haven't it with me.
I'll say you haven't.
No.
Come on with us.
Oh, I couldn't do that, gentlemen. You'll have to excuse me. You see, I'm very late, and I have to be in New York. You see, I'm on the air at 2 o'clock.
Not today, you won't.
Oh, yes.
You'll be on the ice at 2 o'clock. Now, come on with us.
But you don't understand. I'm broadcasting at 2 o'clock. I am the Fireside Troubadour.
That's great. Shake hands with Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby? Oh, how do you do? I heard you last night. Oh, no. Bing Crosby is a handsome chap. I mean, he's out there in California.
Well, if you're the Fireside Troubadour, I'm Bing Crosby. Now, come on with us.
You gentlemen, I'm very sorry. You've got to believe me. I am the Fireside Troubadour, and I'm broadcasting at 2 o'clock. I'll prove to you who I am. With all my heart, I say I love you dearly, for I am yours sincerely.
That's enough. I'm
Oh,
convinced.
thank you. It's a pretty song, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm convinced you're the worst singer I ever heard. You ought to be glad we don't put the bracelets on you after that.
Now, come on with us. And don't start anything. And don't sing.
Have everything in readiness.
Oh, can you broadcast over the telephone?
Oh, yes. It's lucky that we can. It's too late to get him to the station in New York.
Oh. Hello. Hello. Oh, officer, that's wonderful. Yes, we'll be right over. Isn't it marvelous? They've arrested Ned. Oh, you see, Aunt Min always finds a way. Now Ned will be perfectly safe in jail.
Let's hurry along. There's no time for hysteria.
Oh, no, don't let any of us have hysteria. Oh, thank you.
You've unlawfully taken a car that didn't belong to you.
One moment, Sergeant. It's all right, Sergeant. He didn't really steal the car. I had to locate this man, so I used this method. Now, if there's any charge...
You bet there's a charge. The penalty is 30 days for using this department for personal business.
But he had to be located.
Well, that's just dandy. And for the next 30 days, you'll both be located right here.
Oh, why, Sergeant, this is perfectly ridiculous. I shall write to my alderman.
Now, look here, officer. I am Horace J. Twilling, president of the International Broadcasting Company.
That don't give you the right to use this department for
But this man is on the air at 2 o'clock. He's the Fireside Troubadour.
The Fireside Troubadour? Say, if you're lying, I'll hold you without bail for 90 days.
Mr. Twilling is telling the absolute truth. I am the Fireside Troubadour.
Yes, he is, Sergeant. And he's my husband.
And my son-in-law.
My nephew.
Well, sir, it certainly is an honor to shake your hand. We sure do enjoy you every afternoon. My wife thinks you're better than the Philharmonic.
Well,
Please, Sergeant, it's 8 minutes to 2.
oh, just a minute. I'm getting a bang out of this. I never met a radio star before. Say, you're just gonna have to sign our autograph.
oh, I'd be glad
Oh,
to.
mine
Yes.
too, please.
Oh, everybody's? Well, this is very interesting and very flattering indeed.
Sign mine
There
too,
you
please.
are. I'd be glad to, yes.
Say, you're gonna have to come up and have dinner with us some night.
Now, Sergeant, you really must let him go. Think of the millions of women listening in for him.
Oh, sure. Well, go ahead, my lad, and I'll be listening in.
Thank
Too
you.
late. 6 minutes to 2. He can't get to the house in 6 minutes.
Too bad. Say, Mr. Twilling, couldn't you broadcast from my station?
Your station?
Why, sure, we broadcast, you know. We're calling all cars.
That's great. Then I can have my station pick it up. Where's your phone?
Follow me. You can use our private one.
Ned, please say you've forgiven us.
I do. I forgive you. But I doubt if I can ever forget.
Oh, Ned. Well, I never doubted but that you'd reach the top of the ladder.
Oh, you would bring that up, wouldn't you?
Now, you see, my first impressions about people are always right. I saw that spark in him, even when I thought he was a servant. Oh, my dear boy, genius always stands out.
I read that somewhere.
No, Admin, please let him relax. He must sing in a few minutes. Ned, dear, please don't look so resentful.
Not resentful at all, darling, just disillusioned.
What do you mean?
Don't forget, you left me for a snapdragon and a sleeping porch. Well, you did, and there's... Oh, well, don't cry, darling. Please don't cry. I hate to see you cry. I can't stand to see you cry. You know it affects my voice.
Well, I can't help it.
But you have to help it, darling. I have all these lovely old ladies that are going to... no, there, don't. It's gone. It's gone now.
Ned, I'm so worried.
Well, what about, darling?
Darling, what are you going to do with all the money you're going to make?
I'm going to build a sleeping porch for ourselves.
Oh, it's all right. I won't cry anymore.
Of course not.
It's all right, Ned. The line's ready. You go on in a couple of minutes.
Awfully sorry, old man. My voice is gone.
Oh,
Gone. Yes, it has, really. I can't sing a note.
But you must. You understand? The show must go on.
It's
The whole world is waiting to hear you.
I tell you, I can't sing. You don't understand. I got Why don't you sing yourself? Mrs. Bully, you sing. Get a substitute. I can't... What?
All right, International, we're ready. We'll stand by for a signal from you. What? A chord from the orchestra? All right.
Well, gentlemen, you're just wasting time because I'm not going to sing. When I see my Queena cry, that's the end of the day for me.
Ned, please, for my sake.
No.
Oh, Ned.
Do it for me, George. I mean Ned.
Ned, darling, if you love me.
Now, Ned, when you sing, remember the end of that first phrase goes up.
Down.
Up.
Down.
Up.
Down.
Up.
I'll show you. Howdy, folks. Howdy, everybody. Are you all comfortably seated by your nice fireplaces and your lovely armchairs? You all ready? Well, this is your old friend, the ladies' home companion. Well, here he is. That's right. None other than the fireside troubadour, singing the songs you hope to hear. My darling, I am dreaming of the days gone by when you and I were sweethearts beneath the summer sky. Your hair has turned to silver, the gold has faded too, but still I will remember where I first met you, down by the old mill stream, where I first met you, with your eyes oh so blue, dressed in gingham too. It was
They must be having a shindig up at the station house.
That you loved me true. You were 16, my village queen, queen, by the old mill stream. And now, folks, the Fireside Troubadour is going to ask you once again to join him in the chorus. So clear your throats, and don't forget the ending of the first phrase goes down. Down by the...